Welcome in. Just Kings coming up next.
What's up, everyone? Here to wrap up the weekend. It's LA Sports Forum, and we're here to do Just Kings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. So, frustrating weekend, to say the least. I mean,
Frustrating homestand.
4 out of 8 points. I mean, that's going to play. It's going to play.
Somehow, and when we felt like we were at rock bottom, still finding points is, something to be optimistic about.
Yeah, just the one thing that really concerns me is that we have like 3 games at hand on everybody. And
Yeah.
we're only a couple points ahead, so that's kind of a little nerve-wracking.
It is.
All right, so let's get straight into the Coyote game. I know you said last podcast, and I'm going to call you out on this one. You made fun of Kopitar a lot, and he came out, gave you 2 goals, game-winning goal, and also another one. So that was pretty great. Just wanted to say screw you. Kopi still got
Appreciate that. Thank you. He definitely heard our podcast, and, he put a little extra effort in this game, it seemed like.
Mm-hmm. He heard you chirping him the whole game, and he was like, yeah, got to show that guy I know what I'm doing still. But no, I mean, he looked good. He reversed the clock a little bit. He was more shot mentality, and I think that's what he's got to be a little bit more. Especially
Totally.
when he has wide open shots. I mean, why not?
Mm-hmm. The one play that stood out to me was when he went around the defender, created a good spot on the ice for him to shoots and scores. He shows off that snipe he's got,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a snipe. He just doesn't use it as much, especially nowadays. But it was pretty awesome to see. And it really felt like his presence on the ice was there, which is, I know, a big thing we were talking about was where our captain was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the only other thing that I want to bring up from the Coyote game is that we got to see Broenfoot back in the lineup for Walker. And I know you wanted to see the kids play, but I don't think you necessarily thought that we'd call up Tobias to play. But what are your thoughts on that?
I thought he had a good game, good showing. Definitely not as offensive minded as, some of our other guys. But I think that's kind of what we needed after you give up 8 goals, 9 goals. You need to kind of get grounded on the D line. And I thought Bjornfoot did exactly that. He just looked solid, looked comfortable. And he kind of reminded me of his past years,
Mm-hmm.
just being that guy that's always just kind of doing his job and passing it along to the next guy. And I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, so while we're on the topic of defensemen, it was released on the 1st of December that Clark was not invited to the Junior Canada camp. So that means that the Kings can now decide to send him back to the OHL or pick up his entry-level contract for the upcoming year. And I mean, I think at this point, he might be the answer. I mean,
I'm leaning towards Clark being the answer, I mean, when he was with the club, we were winning games. He wasn't making mistakes like some of our other defenders.
mm-hmm.
And it felt like he was ready. He was still a kid. He's still learning, but some of the best experience we can give him is playing with the big club and just giving him that exposure. Because he's one of the guys that's going to be a part of when we're contenders for the cup. I don't see the point in just holding him down. I think we got to go.
Yeah, no, and you can see that he's a team player. I mean, he had a 2-on-1 for what could have been his first NHL goal, but he passes it, gets a wide open goal. He's just a selfless team man. I mean, I think we bring him up at this point. I mean, he's 19, but QB played last year, and he was 19 as well, so let the kids play.
I mean, you literally just said it, that a 19-year-old that has a 2-on-1 and goes for the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
He's got a shot on him as well.
And he knows that he could score his first NHL goal.
Yeah.
But no. And we were winning games. I mean, I think you got to go back to what works,
Mm-hmm. And we'll get into that a little bit later. We got a couple key players coming back that we think will help the Kings out a lot. But let's get on to the Hurricanes game.
That was a tough one. I know we were talking about it during warm-ups. I mean, wow, that team has some physicality. That was intimidating.
Size, yeah. Slavin,
their D-line
Burns
was like unreal. They were huge.
Yeah, so me and Drew were at the game. We were watching the warm-ups, and we were like, oh god, these guys are at least a foot taller than most of the Kings, and
Massive.
I did
And they
shout,
just looked scary. It was
yeah, shout out to Lazat though having that huge hit there. I don't remember what period it was in, but little 5'9" guy running around. It's
awesome.
good to see. All right, first thing about the Canes game, and this is coming from the Kraken game as well. Our slot defense. I mean,
It was rough.
brutal.
Um,
Not just rough,
I,
brutal.
I don't understand. Maybe it's a lack of size or somebody that can enforce like kind of the slot. But wow, they had so many opportunities just right in front of there, and poor Jonathan Quick just started getting. He just started looking awful. Um, but that's because they're right in front of him consistently,
Yeah.
and they're having grade A chances the whole night. I mean, if it wasn't for Quick, we're talking about a blowout.
I know there's a couple of times that we were watching the game and there's a guy wide open in the slot. I mean, they didn't pass him and they just there's some other stuff going on, but we left the guy wide open in the slot even on chances that they didn't take. So something's got to change on the D line because it's not working. But,
And I don't. I at least for me, um, Dersey's been Dersey's been a problem on the D line. I know his offensive production on that power play is awesome. We'll cover that later. But I was curious to see if you had any ideas for the defense.
I mean, when we have these veteran guys that have experience that should be playing a lot better than this, and we have I know I'll bring this up later, but we have Doughty playing damn half the game. To have
It,
this poor
it
defense still, and we have Doughty playing half the game.
it's awful.
It's
Doughty,
pretty
mind
bad.
you, Doughty's doing what he can. But it feels almost as if him and Mikey Anderson have to play a perfect game, a completely perfect game, and play half the game if we want a chance to win. And we have some guys like let me tell you, I'm big on Moverari. I think Moverari is a good defender. I'm big on Spence. And then you start talking about we have so many young guys. We got Brant Clark, Jake Moverari, Spence. We got Bjornfoot. I mean, and we still have Bjornfoot. Bjornfoot.
Attaboy.
But I just named like four kids under the age of what, 23,
Yeah.
that all deserve a chance, and especially Spence, who's tearing it up in the AHL. I mean, why not? Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't just throw in five kids and just say good luck, Dowdy, because that's not going to happen. But maybe it's a chance. Maybe we're at a point where Rob Blake and Todd have got to start thinking maybe Dersey becomes a healthy scratch, and we plug in somebody like a Clark or a Spence or a Moverari.
Yeah, I mean, worst case for the Kings, I think, with Clark is that, oh crap, we got to sign him sooner. We got to give up more money. But if you look at our cap space coming up, we have like 30 million in 3 years. Like, we have a lot of money that's opening up. Why not let Clark play? We're wasting games where he's not getting experience now versus when he could have them later. Hey, pal, your lights went out.
The Kings are at a point because they could still send him to the World Junior Classic, I believe, even though he wasn't invited to the training camp. But that decision is going to have to be made within the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to have to make a decision pretty darn soon. And whatever they decide, I understand. But I do just think our D line needs to see something, because we consistently give up 4 to 5 goals a game, and it honestly feels like for us we got to score 5 goals to win.
Yeah.
And somehow we're above 500, which is pretty remarkable.
I mean, we did start off pretty strong, and now we're starting to slow down a little bit. So it's just, yeah. All right.
It's hockey.
Yeah. Hopefully we just float above 500 so we can figure out defense. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, going on to the power play lines, and I know I told you this. I was really pissed off during the game during this, but I don't remember which power play it was. But we sent out the Kopitar, Kempe, Fiala, Velarde, Doughty line, and they got a minute and 30-ish seconds of the power play. And we have debatably our top line.
Absolutely. No, not even a debate.
Yeah,
That's our top line.
we gave them 30 seconds on the power play. They only got like 10 seconds of zone time once they got entrance. And I think that's just crazy to me that Todd McClellan sent out the Kopitar line instead of the Dano line. Like,
100%. And I was pretty frustrated up until I believe it was in the third period. We got to see the line that's working, and you got to see Dursey quarterback that power play. And
mhm,
what do you know? We score. Kaliev gets a nice goal on the power play, and that line continues to prove that they're our number one line. And thankfully, for my mental state, Todd put him out there. Like, holy smokes! Please, that line scores. We have Kaliev looking like Alex Ovechkin out there, and this is the time where Dursey is on he's in the NHL for this reason, and he's doing well. Get him on the ice.
yeah.
Get him on the ice. If we're going to carry him and play him night in and night out, holy smokes, he's a power play guy. He's a
Mhm.
power play god.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
I mean, unless you got anything else to add to the power play, I think that's basically it. We're just pissed off that the what lines we're playing.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
that line's got to start getting more minutes.
And then on our next point, the Kings just lack. I know they don't have. They're not the biggest team out there. They're probably one of the smallest
Mm-mm.
teams as well. But we don't have that like edge that a lot of these playoff teams are gonna have.
Yeah,
And on that, Lemieux,
Lemieux.
we need him back. And I know he's a lot of people hate him. And I mean, he's not the best player out there. I'll give you that. Hey, McFlurry minute though. He's still my hero. We got McFlurries
Yeah,
from
he's
that.
my hero. Yeah,
Yep. But he brings that edge. Name one player on the Kings besides him that's gonna drop the gloves right now when Lazat gets slammed to the boards.
nobody. And it's crazy to think our record with Lemieux in the lineup is unreal.
Hmm.
The guy wins. We win with that guy, and maybe it's just like a presence thing. Like, that guy will just let you hear it all night, and he will go hit you, and he will finish his check when the team needs it, and he will drop the gloves. So maybe he's a morale guy, maybe he's just a locker room guy, but he wins, and we win with
Hmm.
him. So I think when he's healthy, we got to fire him up on the fourth line.
Yeah. 100% agree. That fourth line of Lazat, Lemieux, and Grunstrom. I mean,
They got it done.
yeah, they know their role. They grind out zone. They spend time in the offensive zone, and even in the Canes game, our fourth line got it going. We
Mm-hmm.
had no offense going until that fourth line spent like 30 seconds, 40 seconds in the offensive zone. That got it all going
Yeah,
for us. Um, but yeah, one positive thing out of the Canes game. Fagemo,
that was
first
awesome.
NHL goal, and we were there to see it.
That
Dude,
was
his
awesome.
his first one though off the post, his face when he missed that. Ooh, I felt bad for him, bro.
Yeah, it sucked, but he was having a damn good night. I mean, from the start, he was good along the boards. He just looked comfy. He looked
Hmm.
like himself, and I honestly think we saw the first of many goals for Fagemo.
Especially when he's holding onto his stick, he's a lot better that way,
Yeah, yeah,
eh?
kid's pretty electric though.
Yeah. Good for him. Good for the kid. Glad I got to see that in person. That was the one positive from that game for me.
Also, it's always just fun to see our prospect. I mean, that's our number four prospect, I believe, in the NHL, and he's doing his thing. It's pretty fun,
Hmm.
and our Reign keep finding success. I mean, that's a huge positive.
Yeah,
We got reinforcements if needed. Yeah, but Fagemo, congrats on the first goal. That was awesome.
100%. Last point for both games. Standout. I wrote this down. Standout defense with a question mark. Do you have any standout defense besides
Um,
Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty?
well, Mikey Anderson and Drew Doughty are arguably the most consistent players in the league.
Well, they have to be
Especially,
when Doughty's playing 20 on average 28 minutes a game and Mike Anderson's playing 23. I mean, they got to
it's
be
pretty
consistent
absurd.
if we're sending them out there for half the game.
It is pretty absurd, but yeah, those two continue. Mikey Anderson, especially, he's earning himself a contract, and rightfully so.
Hmm.
He's playing good hockey, playing some lockdown D, and he's just taking a little bit of pressure off of Drew Doughty to just kind of do his thing. But another standout player is Kaliev. I mean, dude has an absolute rocket of a shot. He's got the best shot on the team.
Hmm.
Um, and I think we might start seeing him on the first line. I was curious to think
Yeah, so I know their
kind of what you
practice
thought.
lines came out today, and it was again Kopitar, Fiala, Kaliev on the top line, and then it was Velarde, Kempe, and Iafallo on the third line. So Iafallo is coming back, and that's another thing we wanted to talk about. Elite defender, and he's going to grind it out. He'll get us probably around 15, 20 goals this season, and he's
Yep,
an elite defender. I think that will really help us out. Hopefully, he'll secure the bottom six in defense as well, and also on the penalty
totally,
kill.
totally will.
He's
He's
top line on
big.
our penalty kill as well.
Yeah, that's a big one for us. That's been a part we needed help. Reinforcement on the way.
Hmm.
Huge positive.
And then two people want to call out for being negatives. Kempe, he's my boy,
Hmm. Yep,
but for being an all-star last year, it's off to a slow start. It's just disappointing to
it's
see.
frustrating.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know
No
he's
consistency.
yeah he's feeling as well. I know that, so I'm not like, damn, this guy sucks, but he's got to figure it out. He makes that top line so much better. I know Kaliev will hold it down for him while he's gone from that, but he's just got to figure it out. I mean, maybe give him on third line, playing against third line on the other team. Hopefully that he'll start figuring out, get some
Absolutely.
confidence back with that.
Get him with Velarde and Iafallo. They're two good skilled players.
Hmm.
Maybe something starts happening.
Especially with Velarde in there. Now I am a little bit
Yep.
concerned about Velarde being moved to center. I know
Yeah.
that when he got moved to winger, he was a lot more comfortable with how he was playing, especially this year. But hopefully he just stays the same way and they don't change the structure of the defense too much around it. But yeah,
Yep.
hopefully he doesn't
Agreed.
mess him up too bad.
Definitely something to watch.
And then last negative, Sean Dursey, my boy.
Sean Dursey. He continues to give up a goal and score a goal in a power play or help us score a goal.
He's consistently giving us one assist a game, whether it's four against us.
Absolutely, and it's tough to watch. But he's a kid,
Yeah,
you know. One hopes he'll figure it out.
just never seen one person fan on so many passes. I don't understand how it keeps happening to him, but he just fans on passes somehow. And it's not
He's
even
got to
like a
be,
bouncing puck either. It's just he's
yeah.
stick handling and then he just fans on
He
it.
looks yipped, like
He yipped
he's
out of his
just
mind.
mentally like not there sometimes, and it's tough. But I have, I do believe he will figure it out.
Hmm. All right, so our upcoming road trip, Canada, East Coast. We got the Senators, Leafs, Canadians, Blue Jackets, Sabres, and Bruins. I think we got to walk away with at least 8 points. That's not too
Absolutely.
far out of my mind. Senators, Canadians, Blue Jackets, Sabres, we can beat all them easily. Leafs and Bruins, the way we're
Hey,
playing,
hey,
might be a little
now's the
tough.
time to go. Wake up, boys.
Yeah. Dude,
You guys.
speaking of that, wake up call. We need to play the Oilers again. Play them
Hmm.
again. I think that will bring out the competitiveness from the boys. I mean, look what happened last time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this roadie, something I wanted to bring up was you're going on a road trip with the boys and it's an extended one. I think this could be a good kind of challenge and a good just moment for the team to kind of reconnect, refocus on their goals, not have as many distractions and kind of just start playing better hockey. This could be really good for the Los Angeles Kings.
Especially for the Los Angeles Kings. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Senators last time lost in overtime to them. But
Wake up, boys.
yeah. I'm interested to see the Leafs game though. That'll be fun to
Hmm.
see. I know. So I've been watching a couple of Leafs games. I've been watching a lot of hockey lately, but the Leafs especially, they are not playing as good as they were last year, but they're still up there in the standings. So their top line is a little bit slower than last year. I know uh, Matthews isn't on his 80 goal pace as he was last year, but hopefully Kopi can shut him down a little bit. Maybe a little
Absolutely.
Philippe Deneau on him.
We got some guys. We got some guys. It'll be a damn good game, though.
The Bruins one, I'm a little bit more
Hey,
nervous
it's a
for.
good time to start playing some good hockey. Maybe we get some momentum going into that game, and we kind of show them that we can handle the big teams.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially if you want to be a contender. You got to be able to hang with the big dogs.
yeah, those are two teams that are for sure gonna make the playoffs, and we gotta show that we can play with them, especially coming off the Canes game where at it's a playoff team that we just got absolutely our asses handed to. So I think
Absolutely.
it'll be good to see.
Hey, one last point. Quentin Byfield hat trick tonight.
Hey,
Kings,
that's good. Good for the rain,
NHL.
eh? Good for the rain.
Hey,
We really want that.
Toddy,
Uh,
Rob. I like I like winning in the National Hockey League, not Ontario.
hmm
Byfield up.
Please,
Call him,
please
please. Figure it out.
put Velarde
He's
on the
ready.
wing. Put Velarde on the wing,
He's
please.
he's looking confident. Get the man up. I mean, he's a second overall pick. Let's go. But yeah, I'm assuming we'll hear about Quentin Byfield over this road trip at some point. So
Let the kids
times are
play.
coming, Kings fans.
Quentin Byfield's gonna be on a private jet to the East Coast soon, eh?
Hopefully, one can
Yeah,
hope.
I'll drive him out there myself.
Kings have IFL to get activated soon, and then need a clear spot for Quentin Byfield. So reinforcements are coming, though, Kings fans.
Yeah, I mean, always just real quick with the lineup changes. Always replace him, put QB on that third line center, move Velarde to
Mhm.
wing. I follow down to the fourth line and get rid of Anderson Dolan. I mean,
You're talking some damn good lines.
yeah, for paying a guy $4 million to play lockdown defense on our fourth line and center one of the penalty
Hey,
kills. I mean,
whatever
sure.
whatever helps. I give up as many goals. I'm in. Because holy smokes.
Too many goals, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up everything we wanted to talk about. So, thanks for joining us. Had a little bit of brand change, name change, but you guys are still in the same place, so.
We're locked in here. We'll
Yeah.
see you guys on Wednesday. Recap
Yes.
the game on Tuesday.